Hello there. So, it's after hours, as it were, for my normal stuff, but I noticed that the new patch for 5.15 has dropped. Thought I'd do a little recording, give some of my opinions on it. I know I'm not really involved in Hellgate anymore, but as somebody who did help at times, I made suggestions and they did do things. You're welcome for sniper rifles as an example. I thought I should at least have a look, have a little reaction, and see what people think. Um, so first and foremost, I don't like the way that this is set out. The way Brian had it on the forums before was really, really good, but it's been linked to the wiki. Fine, whatever. Patch 1.5.15. This patch is going to work for long-awaited closed station expansion by bringing sweeping changes, difficulty across slow. Right, I'm going to say this right now. They've always had the ability to do this. They've had the ability to do this for years. Daybreakers complained about it for ages, and I have agreed with them. This is the thing they were supposed to do. This is really, really good. Basically, Nightmare difficulty curve has been revised and it concludes at 55, which is what it should be. The fact that Millennium Battle is now going to scale like 37, it means that when we were playing through Nightmare on our previous seasons, by the time we reached the Liverpool stage station, we were already at 50. Like, it's now going to be that when you get to Finsbury Square, you're getting level 51 enemies, which is fine. This is fine. I it's one of those things where this is a thing they should have done years ago. I'm glad they're doing it now, but they should have done it years ago. The adversary changes. I'll be very interested about this because although I don't like to play this type of content, I gave them feedback 2 years ago and I was told I didn't know how to play the game. And that's a really bitchy thing for me to say, but the fact that the first patch, what like this, there was two patches. There was a patch that happened because of Omerta's passing, and that's really, really sad. And obviously they sort of wanted to get out what they did as soon as possible. But I said to them that this was really niche content and they needed to bring it down in damage. And oh, look at that. The first thing they do is they nerfed the ignite defense on Malthus. They've nerfed, yeah, the cooldown on the skill has gone increased to 2 minutes from 1 minute, and his minions automatically die off after 90 seconds. Ruek's summon intervals increased. Number of hell respawns been decreased as well. Like, these were all things I was telling them. I was telling them about how unfair it was to play, how like the self healing was ridiculous. And I'm glad they've made these changes. Congratulations, guys. Please keep it up. The Australia Dungeon revamp. More people have bitched about this than I think is really necessary. I've never really had much of a problem with it, but I'm also very, very unlucky when it comes to other things, so I'm willing to accept that this is probably worth it. The fact that you're now going to be able to get killing named bosses, giving you a chance, 100% chance for one, and a 25% chance for one or two, and the T3000, if you can beat that, getting three just seems fine. This is fine. This is good. New NPC lines. I'm gonna go check myself out in a bit. I'm very happy with that. It's interesting that I applied for so many more roles and they only gave me tester. But what I will say is that, hey lads, if you're wanting more voice acting stuff, I'm actually getting proper voice acting stuff done over in the Dawn of War Unification mod. I have been doing some things and I have a better microphone now. Anyway, in addition, the upcoming closed station expansion is set to be the voices of Guitar Bar, Shagrazier, Luke, alongside our own Crash, Siona, and Brian. Codex entries. Something else I suggested 2 years ago. Glad to see you're listening to me, guys. They've added to the game PDAs contain excerpts of interesting communications. Usually, okay, it's not quite what I was thinking of. I thought it was going to be like the monster stats thing, but you know what? It's extra lore. That's quite good. Yeah. Information, tongue in cheek, stuff that's faithful to the canon material. Yeah. I mean, okay, I'm not under an NDA anymore, so I'll just straight out say it. We once had a situation where Bill Roper, the guy who basically designed this game, said to Brian, there was a few people in the chat. I was one of them, but it was Brian. This was specifically aimed at. He said, "This is the torch is yours," kind of a thing. Because we had him on the beta server where they jury rigged it to have like more people in. This is never going to happen, but we had like a party of 15. This will never happen. It breaks the server. We were only able to do it that one time, and it was like a pain in the ass. I remember people bitching about it for a while. But basically, in that, Bill was saying some very nice things. And honestly, I think if they were to add stuff to this game that is referenced to, but is not specifically canon, I don't think there really should be much of a problem with it. I mean, it's a mod after all. These are really nice. They're Codex PDAs. These quests will be available in normal difficulty. These quests do not affect Codex functionality. They only serve to inform the player of the existence. All right, okay, cool. So it's just going to be like a passive thing that sits there. As the codex will inform you, Demons throughout London will carry such items. All champions have a 1% chance to drop PDA with a very rarity, except legendary and unique. Okay, so that's green and blue enemies, which is mostly blues. Legendary and unique PDAs only drop from designated bosses and Zombie Scholar, and new trespass patches will spawn. The player's class and function don't. Okay, that's fine. Recipes. Once they've been used, they can once spread, they can be used productively. 2 common, 2 enhanced, 2 rares. One once new legendary relics. That's good. 4 rare, 1 legendary, 1 unique. One among 9 low level unique weapons through perfection. 6 uniques gets you a mythic mod, a random mythic mod. Okay, that's less good. The name legendary relics, which is the one I'm probably going to go for. Relic strength, relic knowledge, relic vigilance. Strength is associated with Templar. Strength and increases the damage swordsman skills, or increases the damage shield skills, or increases the use rate swordmanship skills. 2 out of 3 of those are useful for Blade Master. One of them is really more useful for your Templar Gundians. Relic of Knowledge, willpower, plus increases damage of Evo spells, or cost of Evoker skills, or decreases the cost of Summoner skills. It's alright. Hunter, accuracy, increases the damage of combat skills, or power, decreases the power cost, or increases the use rate. For my sniper, I probably want to go accuracy and damage. I could go accuracy and power cost, but like accuracy and damage probably the best. Low-level unique weapons are Trax Elimination, Fishery Firecast, Eradicator, Megalodon, Mortify, Ceremonial Shard, Fusili's Friend, Divine Derek's Equalizer, and Arashi's Spider Shot. I think that's a good idea to move some of these into that. It's something I've been talking about recently on the Discord server. I think the problem that there is going to be pretty soon is that those tables are pretty fucking full. Like, there are limited amount of things. Like, there is a maximum number of items in the game that before it becomes infeasible. Like, if you have 100 unique items, but over time they've added another 100, getting the one you want to get is a lot harder now, especially if you're looking for specific stats. New global items. Unique items based to none of the games. These are base types that by faction. This will be very interesting because I know I sent a certain video where I broke down every single weapon to a member of the dev team recently. Gee, I wonder what happened there. Guys, if you just want to bring me back, it's fine. I'm not that bitter about it, trust me. Right, Eruptor Mark 1, Lava Launcher, Magma. Yeah, okay. A lot of this stuff doesn't mean anything to a lot of people. Bane Blaster's kind of cool, though. A lot of this isn't going to mean anything, but there's a lot of different types of weapons in the game and the way that it stores it. This isn't like game breaky or anything like that, but the game stores them as different types of models. And then when it recalls those models, it might have legendary stats to equip to them. So it's kind of nice that some of these other weapons are getting them. Templar items. Edition Mark II variant Bone Shredders, the Bull Soul Render is out of the game. Level 40 game, comes with a unique Soul Shredder, except for Soul Renders, Soul Shredders, all the above limbs are left over by Flagship Studios. That's cool. Templar items, Shields, Molten Edge, Ripper, Thunder Mace, Broad Saber, Pyro Edge, yeah, it's alright. Adamantium Mass, Vorpal Slasher, Vorpal Ripper. I don't like the Vorpal Ripper. I think it's crap. I think it's a fucking crutch. Because if you have to stuff them full of that many mods to make your build good, you probably have an issue where you're not really using the pistol for anything anymore, which is its own problem. Charger, Starburst, that's good. In addition to the following types, unique variants dropped there. Holy Broadsword and a Divine Judgment. I need to find that. That sounds cool. Shadow Blades, and they're unique to Black Shroud. As Flagship Studios not planned for any of these items, only Paxton's Icarian Blade, Night Slasher, Divine Judgment, Faraday's Device, Lightwave, and the Black Shroud are names left over by them. Hunter items, He Who Hunts, and Doku no Kage. Now, the thing is about the death ray can't crit. I remember testing that with Alternalo very distinctly. It doesn't crit. We've no idea why. So death ray is a bit of a hard sell for a lot of people. The Stingray getting support is good, but the death ray is a bit like, until you fix the crit problem, it's there, it's stuff, but I don't think it's really going to do anything. All factions, workman's shirts. Flagship is no plan for. Yeah, okay, fine. Community items. These are upstanding players. My fuckers, you put me in the game. I'm not upstanding. You guys know I'm not upstanding. So Nightblade, the couples only. Sterling's Dagger of Provocation. Use Technical Machine. He Who Hunts. Doku no Kage. John's Wit. John's Reservation. Dave's Flux Rifle, 40W's Fiery Flash, Zutan's Orb, Orion's Murder Mittens, CD's Bumbo, Luke's Claymaker, Scythe Mining Cap, Linvidir's Comac Burn Bracers, Buck's Bruckler, Yeo's Sidearm, Mark's Trousers, M-Man's Winter Gloves, Crash's Firm Jaw, Gertie's 2 shoes, Dawn Power shoes, Violet's red shoes, Val Valor, Tiona's eye, Nighthawk. I like that Nighthawk's actually the only one here. Random marksman stealth skill. There's two of them, you fuckers. There's two of them. You couldn't pick between camouflage or stealth? Really? Anyway, item changes. Drop rates for Taskmasters were significantly increased. This will also affect the new rewards, new variant in Master's Hand. Drop rates of all two-handed Templar guns was slightly reduced. Yeah, fucking thankfully. This will not affect the drop rates of the unique items, but Arcane Desolator, since its unique drop, had no normal variant. Okay. Vorpal Shredders will now drop from level 1. Okay. The Wolverine. Yep. Alright. Spike Bolters. They're just saying this item's been tweaked in its original form, more useful. Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, they've reduced its. Okay, so Cursed Wedding Ring is now essentially its own item flavored use. It has HP degeneration. Latter changes essentially cosmetic, since the ring's only benefit comes from using it as a. Alright, okay. Bum Shredder's base damage has been buffed. Its fire damage has been good for its splash. Yeah, that's good. 30% physical damage component. Ignite attack strength been slightly buffed. Good. Nick's Nailgun acquired additional tech slot. Very good. Its on-kill Nova has often changed to an on-hit one of the same grade. Better. Nick's Nailgun is a great weapon. That Templar bolt pistol thing is really nice. They do need to fix something with the, like, there's some sort of upper end calculation with missile spread and dexterity. I have videos of me messing around with it from a couple of patches ago on the beta server, which obviously I can't really share. But trust me when I say that you can your spread can go a bit nuts. Sine Nomi Inquisitorius, good damage needs buff. Base crit was increased to 8. Yep, that's good. Rate of fire, good. Shock attack strength, good. Killing Kiss Catharsis. Which one's that again? Oh. It no longer functions as an ID pulsar, but streaming field gun with physical fire. Yep, okay, that's much better. No longer be variant of its base type, a global unique. Okay. +1 summonal skills to change +2 mind power and +2 dominate. Yes. It's acquired the Model 5's original the Model's 5 original mod slots, since it is new skills to use. And yep. It no longer features the genetic flavor text of ID pulsars. It's effectively not one. It will clarify it's not usable by drones. Cool. Gabriel's Fury. Which one's that one? That one. Acquired 20% electricity damage component to match Call of the Archangel's design and make it inherent shock attack strength. Big Ben's irradiated Revolquin, which is. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Slightly increased. Yeah, that's fine. Bot Master's minion damage bonus. Yeah, that's fine. Vestments of Soteria also feature. Oh, hello. Oh, it's. Okay. So it's dropped by Blood Baron and Ancient Blood by 5%, and Shoggoth's 1% chance to drop it. But its level varies. It doesn't say where it caps out. I'm going to investigate that one. Because a 20% SFX defense bonus is really solid. Just a flat 20%, really good. XM55B 20mm shrapnel rifle. Has level longer droid. Will never longer drop from Ember Freak, but now from Fat Bully instead. Let's have a look at it. Pretty basic. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Shin's Guard has been revamped. Minimum damage is buffed by 50%. Critical damage bonus been lowered to 100, and it's acquired 300% damage of poison effect. Yeah, that's fine. It's got a decent. It's got 2 mod slots. It's fine. It's a low level one. Vicious Caress says Nova on kill, change to Nova on hit. Ah, yes. I mean, it's good that they're doing on hit, especially with items that can hit multiple times. I think that's actually better overall, because the problem with an on kill is unless you're killing everything in one hit, it's not really that useful. This will be interesting. Item affix clarifications. All items affix expertise and skills that refer to all elemental effects, elemental defenses, and elemental against special effects, but not individual attack strength of the defenses, such as stun attack strength or stun defense, have had their descriptions streamlined to avoid confusion. Specifically, all items affixes, whenever referring to all elemental attack strength or elemental defenses, will now not specify all, as they simply state the increased strengths or defenses. That's good. SFX attack strengths will, yep, cool, and SFX defenses. Cool. This includes focus item tooltips. Excellent. Armor pieces that offer increased damage as inherent properly will now reflect this more accurately. BD increases damage by a value instead of adds X damage. Right, okay, that's good. Anything, right. I bitched at the Sota devs for this one. If you're gonna leave things vague, people won't understand what the fuck you mean, and they're gonna make weird shit up. So that's good. Affixes that increase firing accuracy will now read plus value, and ones that decrease will now read minus value in red. Okay. All novas which are remote centered on enemy will now state this in effect. Regular nova centered on player will read as before. Okay, the green text description of ID pulsars is now correctly. Yeah, okay. Typo and 7-branch sword flavor text was corrected. Johnny's Mecha Slice overview is now correctly listed physical splash damage. Zen Focus will now feature a unique restriction that clarifies unique fire attack and atypical damage. Let's have a look at this one. Zen Focus. Concentrate damage. Adds defenses. Increases Rainshair skills. Decreases. Yeah, no, that's Zen Focus looks pretty good. Decreases the power cost. That's all good. PowerPoint penalty to reflect that of 8 to 10%. Well, you're getting 20 to 30% off the cost of those skills. That's fine. Yep, nope, that's cool. All right, so they've just made everything a little bit better. That's good. Affixes. All novas, whether the player or an enemy's hit, have had their damage calculation revamped to closely scale with the level of the item which grants them. So that might explain a few things. The difference in performance compared to before should be minimal. The change also allowed armor fixes of novas when the player is hit to deal damage, as outlined by bug fixes and optimization section below. New fixes which grant S-Fix attack strength bonus to the player's minions have been added to the game. These fixes can appear on Cabalist, Hunter, and armor pieces, the Enchant, Common, Innovator's Rare, Elementalist, Legendary, and Afflictor's Mythic. These affixes do not affect spells to take up the player's minion damage value, but are not themselves minions, such as Tempest and Swarm. Okay, so they can only affect actual minions that deal damage, specifically drones, rocket bots, bomber bots, nanobots, spider-binds, all elementals, Carnivore, Reaper, Shadows, Evoker, Ember, Wallbone, and Spectral Serpents. Okay. Two specialized uniques geared towards minion damage have been added to the game, which grant damage bonus to the player's demons, and one specific to bots. These affixes will only be present in specific unique items. The sources may be rolled out next batch. Cool. Bosses that are immune to AI changes, changes, fear, taunt, mind control, blind stop, will now have a new monster called Indomitable to communicate this to the player. The thing I told them to do. Yes, I will take credit for that. Fuck you very much. I literally put an icon in the community thing saying this is what you should put in if it's immune to stuff. Just there you go. The effects can also occur normally, spawning on random champions. That's not good. The new effect Vigilant has been added to the game, which will grant immunity to crit hits, as well as 50% bonus armor. Okay, so if you see something with Indomitable, you can't CC it. And if you see something with Vigilant, don't bother trying to blast it down. You're going to need status effects. This new effects will not occur normally, but will be assigned to designated bosses and unique enemies. Honestly, that sounds like... I'm not trying to second guess you guys, but it sounds like you're trying to fix a bug. I don't know what it is, but that sounds like someone's found a bug involving criticals and armor bonuses. So if that's fixing a bug, that's great. Otherwise, you're going to make certain Blade Masters very unhappy, but luckily I run a lot of Sword of Authority, so my status effects for Poison are pretty okay. Boomerang, Backlash, and Rebounding monsters have been revamped. They no longer function differently depending on the enemy's existing aura. Oh dear. Reflected damage now function as a ranged thorns, reflecting static damage consistently instead of sudden bursts. Yes, reflected damage will now function. Sorry, the property of Venom Totems. Master Totems and Venom Totems are active. It will proc bug hives that hit the enemy. Right, okay, so it prevents sudden bursts of damage killing players. 3 new mythic fixes. Yeah, okay. Mages, Knights, and Soldiers. +1 to all X skills, plus a random one. Okay. These affixes block +1 to all class skills, fixes and augments, as the two belong to the same group. So if I have 2 items with +1 to all, I don't want that affix. Is that right? New affix Flawless has been added to the game. Reduced weapon consumption alongside a 1.2% trigger and remote. Yeah, okay, cool. Blade Master changes. Okay. The last thing I ever gave them information on properly was Blade Master changes. Let's see, with no nastiness, let's see how they fuck this up, because I'm not looking at it just now, but I know there's changes to Sword of Reckoning and Sword of Authority. And I said to Brian recently, man, I sure hope you've given it utility and not just a bunch of stats. Oh, look, a bunch of stats. Oh my god. Guys. You're trying. Okay. Sword of Reckoning then gains 2% per critical chance per skill level. So that caps out at 10%, so that's going to be 20% skill chance. Okay, so that's a big damage boost. It now always grants 10% armor penetration. That's a very, very strong thing to do. As a skill synergy, it now increases the damage of Sword of Authority by 10% per level. So if you have 10 points in Sword of Reckoning, your Sword of Authority is going to do 100% more damage. And you will have 10% armor penetration. Oh no, it always grants armor 10. Okay. Sword of Authority. 2% critical chance per skill level. 10% armor penetration. Skill synergy will now increase the S effect strengths of sword effect. Alright, okay, so that does back onto itself. That's good. Hampers enemy movement. Yes! Call the Chosen and Angelic Orator now cap at 7 points. Yes! Each of these effects have been scaled accordingly. They should only be very slightly less effective than they were before max. They should be exactly the same. They should. There is no reason for you to nerf them. All right. Angelic Orator is extremely powerful. It's very very strong at fearing enemies in Blade Master builds. And Call of the Chosen is again pretty much the same thing. But the reason that they shouldn't be changed is because Blade Master already has traditionally had a bit of a bad time of it. But we'll see. Offensive Blade Master skills have been added to new skill groups for increased customizabilities. Duelist Knight and Flying Blade. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I kind of see why you put Path of Righteousness in the Flying Blade one, but yeah, these effects that modify the skill groups will not spawn normally or be augmentable. For the time being, they're only available on designated unique items. Fair. That I feel that's fair. If you had +1 to all Flying Blade skills, that could be really strong. +1 to all Knight skills. That's the one that people are going to be after, guys. If you have something that gives +1 to all Knight skills, you better have made it sub 20 because that's going to be used in every build if they can get it to level 50. Guardian skill changes. Sword of Reckoning has been modified to be in line with Blade Master 1, which it doesn't have the skill synergy. Prayer of Smiting really had its base value buffed by 30%. Prayer of Retribution has min base damage and max damage buffed to 50%, respective values of Prayer of Smiting, in line with the news groups. Yeah, okay. Summoner changes. Reaper buff. Damage change fire, got some matching Ignite strength. I think it was originally physical. SFX percentages were equalized to regular ones. Ignite defense was significantly increased. Okay, Thorn's value was increased. Thorns will now take up the player's demon damage value, but not the minion damage value. Okay, so if you're wanting to go Reaper, you will need to spec hard into demon damage, but unfortunately, that's not useful for most people. Thorn's value was increased. Thorns will now take up demon damage. Sorry, read that one. Deflection calculation was revamped. 5% at first level, increases by 5% per skill level after, capping at 50% on max. Well, 50% deflection is pretty good. Skill select level prerequisites have been adjusted to make it possible for the class to acquire all of its skills with hard points, which was previously impossible. Specifically, prerequisite of Afterlife, Summon Witch Doctor, and Summon Warper have all been dropped by 1. Respective demon prerequisites, these command skills now also align with Meat Shield's Carnivore level prerequisite 2. Master of Lightning will no longer grant chance for lightning discharge on hit. Instead, Storm Ellies have acquired Electric Thorns and Master of Lightning. But that's good. That's good. I'm tired of crashing and stop blaming it on DirectX 10, you cowards. Evoker, Ember, and Spectral Serpents now use the demon value. That's really good. It means that they're now specking. Like, if you want to go into using Ember or Spectral Serpents, you're going to have to go into stuff with demon value rather than just like minion value. But I think the specific nerfs are very, very. Like, it'll be very, very interesting. These descriptions have been added to state their interaction. This is in addition to them being effective. Although this is in addition to playing minion value. Alright, okay, so basically, if you're an Evo, run some demon damage if you want to get extra damage out of Ember or Spectral Serpents, but that's very, very niche. Skill clarifications. All skills should be fucking clarified. All skills increase the outgoing damage when I simply state this. Instead of saying the weapon, skill, type, the effect, they for brevity and clarity. Sprint now properly clarifies it increases movement speed. Spider-Man will now display its location. Will now display its cooldown. Good. Following skills now state their duration. Oh, good! Sprint, Sword of Duration, Sword of Rash, Sword of Speed, Multi-Shot, Medipack, Retrofit, Element Drain, Word of Fear. Yes, they should all fucking set that from the beginning. Good work. The skills that reference elementals now correctly distinguish between elementals adjective and elemental noun with a capitalized letter. Alright, cool. Summon Force Elemental now clarify that summons Force Elementals, not Earth ones. Spectral Elementals clarify its phase attack strength bonus applies to its summoned elemental. Dark Form now outlines a passive effect through a passive line. Description. Hey, are you guys doing that thing where you add passives to stuff like I told you to? Especially for certain summoner builds. I'm not there. I'm taking the piss. I'm really glad these are changes. Skills now gain its strength bonuses. Now read S fits strength. Yeah, it's okay. Surge speeds will clarify its velocity refers to bonus movement speed, so it doesn't refer to animation speed. That's good because that would have made all your attacks fit faster. Next thing, get rid of Surge of Speed. Replace it with something cooler that does something. Cheers. Okay, thanks, bye. Charge descriptions now end. Okay. Summon Carnivore no longer mentions armor twice. Inhibitor bots now state they also take up the player's shield penetration value, where they detonate through concussive crash. Okay, didn't know that. Elemental Beacons description now streamlined to Elemental Drain. Elemental Drain now clarify that Brom's Curse SFX reduction is in addition to its own. Okay, that's good. Flash Crash Grenade now basically reads correctly. Base shield penetration of all grenade skill increased. Type on aura stability was fixed. Good. Brom's curse no longer erroneous state that its effect scales to the user's matchable HP. Don't care. Crusader Wrath no longer reads melee strength as its damage bonus also applies to guns. The armor reduction effect has been relocated to the description field to its effect text since it's static and skill levels don't affect it. Prayer Smiting now states electricity damage along with other skills. Angelic Orator now specifies the damage reduction applies while Call of the Chosen taunt effect still applies. Okay, reference Call of the Chosen receiver. Okay. Crosscut Sorted and Path of Righteousness now state they cannot trigger surges, which sucks. And I don't know what they can do about that one. As always, clarifications are strictly explanatory, do not affect functionality. Good. I'm going to say this for a while, right? This section here on like clarifications, every patch should be getting more clarified because there's still shit that doesn't make sense. So this is good. Keep doing it. Area changes. Well, gee, I guess all those level changes are going to have some effects. St. Paul's and Veil Asunder. Veil Asunder now spawns a new monster class. Yeah, the Quavantavius will probably be with that other one that they mentioned before. St. Paul's Hellgate will now prohibit recall, portals, and PRDs. 6 new items, 2 perfections now drop exclusive to the Hellgate area, which is Oni's Yamato, Dawn's Power Shoes, Martin Valley's Villainy, Goody's 2 Shoes, Womb of Agaria, Violet's Red Shoes. 3 new items outlaid above, 1 perfection exclusive to Churchyard, Paternoster, Cheapside, and Little Britain. M-Man's Winter Gloves, Mark's Trousers, and Crash's Firm Jaw. Okay. Necropolis changes. The champion spawn chance in all Necropolis levels was slightly increased. Good. 9 new items is outlaid above, 3 perfection, build Necropolis exclusive drops. 40W, Mon my guy there, getting Fiery Flash, Luke's Claymaker, Sterling's Dagger Protection, Provocation, won the Sterling. Size Mining Cap, CD's Bumbo, won the CD, Dave's Flux Rifle, Orion's Murder Mittens, Mew's Technical Murder Machine, and so on. Alright, cool. These items have been added to Treasurer of Belzor. Each kill has 3% chance to drop new faction items. Said rolls for each faction will be separate, 3% from different 3%. Right, 3 different 3% rolls. Right, 1 per faction. Cool. Catacombs changes. They have a chance to drop legendary unique codex PDAs in addition to the original loot. Okay, cool. They are terrible. They basically doesn't exist. If you say that something has a 1% chance to happen, that means that 99% of the time, that's nothing. Even at 7%, that's terrible. These are going to be a hell of a grind. Treasure passage changes. Excluding those in the wilds, just please call them something else. I don't care what you call them. Maybe call it a wild encounter. Now feature 50% chance for a new spawn. Zombie Scholar is mostly harmless. Comes with a hefty money multiplier, guaranteed random mod drop. And PDX things, a 5% chance to get a Master's Band, which they haven't put on the wiki yet. Okay, monster level changes. Yep. No longer scale to player level. Good. That stops people getting fucked over in nightmare runs. 5 lives now drop regular monster kit. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Civilized SFX were revamped to account for now easier nightmare encounter. Sidney now belongs to the Primus cast. That's the one with Quavantavius, so we kind of knew that was coming. Because they mentioned that it's getting the new fixes. Sidney, Quavantavius, yep, okay, cool. Nightmare attack level is reduced. Again, all of this is very positive. None of this is really negative, so that's really good. I just hope that this is like a fight that's actually doable. Because on normal, it's doable. In Nightmare, it requires a full team of people running high ignite and basically turn off all sounds or you will crash. You did receive a crit HP buff along with the Vigilant fix, but its level reduction out of the North should make it easier fight than before. You fucking say that now. Multi-beast size was increased considerably. Alright, in addition, its HP and armor were increased. Alright, okay. The size was increased, or Butcher's Imp, that's fine. It has a 3% chance to drop John's Wit or John's Reservation. Bloodblades, regular treasure. Again, nothing here is too. Sekworm has a 50% chance to drop 3 legendaries on the first kill. Zombie summoners of all types now summon appropriate zombies for their name. Good! Good! New types of zombie summoner. The Plague Bearer has been introduced to the game. Plague Bearer, really? If you want to nick off Nurple stuff, just let me know. This type will plague zombies, compete with okay, produce toxic field and death. The variety of toxic zombie summoners throughout London has been increased. This is to spite me, I swear, Siona, it's you bastard. Tabby Bash HP has been increased, good. Blobbo has been modified, Headmate HP increased. No longer random encounter in Piccadilly Surface, but permanent one. Next treasure will be the same across all kills, i.e. first time will be the standard loop. Cool. Achievement additions. Killing 1,000 zombie summoners, revealed at 250, grants the Undying Endurance skill. Will these be retroactive? Kill 10,000, get Puppeteer's Bane. That grants you the title. What's the Undying Endurance skill? I want to know what that is. Festering Kings with Green Knight, Breath of the Brave Ghoul Lords. Yeah, these are all the various things, like Doctor. I need to know what these skills do. Kill Blobbo 100 times grants Guardian the Stone. This is the Blobbo Stormo skill. Killing the Gatekeeper 100 times revealed at 10 kills the Bouncer. Kills for these achievements are not retroactive. I think that's a problem for some of these anyway. In addition, hidden event achievement game, Wisdom's Blessing requires the player to consume a candy of the learner and grants the title of Scholar. The achievement will become available through a future codex related event. So I'm never getting it. Recipe changes. New recipe for Mythic Armor has been added to the game. 30 Shiny, 10 Necro, 10 Beast. Much like the Mythic Weapon recipe, it's a chance to create a retrainer instead of a piece of armor. Unlike it, however, the recipe will always create an item that is usable by a crafting character. 2 new hidden recipes using Cursed. I have a video literally telling them they need to use Cursed for something. And now they've used it to make double-edged armors and weapons. Good. New Australia thing. That's good. I do remember though that they need to fix the there is a limit on the number of things they can do with that cube in terms of the number of recipes are on it. So I hope that they fix that soon. For new recipes in the codex, yeah, okay. Death to Order will no longer require the completion of the Deep, but only completion of Regicide, the quest before it. All daily quests in Stone Age Parliament Square are now only accessible in one difficulty mode per day, not both. Changes. Omerta's memorial poster has been removed from the roster. I don't think it should be removed from the stations. I don't think it should be removed from the stations. The game launcher also pick. Well, yeah, okay, that's fine. I would like it to remain in the stations because people don't look at the stations very often, and there are 20 different poster types, which I know because I counted. Even though they appear doubled, I know that. I don't know if the guys are going to see this. I really don't. But if they do, put it back in. Put one poster, like poster 20, which only appears in a couple of places. You know it and I know it. Just put it on poster 20. I don't think anyone would have complained with one poster type. Weapons and feature arcs now state the mechanic in the window. That's good. Values displayed if there's external forces to modify them. Oh, so we're going to see what stats actually mean. That's good. Weapons have a chance to fire extra bullets now state the mechanic in the inspection window. That's good. The Aegis buff icon now states the petrification immunity effect. That's good. Hardcore data state now reiterates death is permanent polarity. That's good. Just one more achievement text has been corrected. Now accurately describes the requirement of getting all skills within the skill tab instead of getting all class skills. That's good. Hellgate quests now better instruct the player to proceed to St. Paul through Guildhall instead of just reading to the Hellgate. That's good. Tier 2 skill tokens will now have a 15% chance to drop inside the botted. Yep, that's good. Achievement of killing 1,000 monsters with Beetleborgs is renamed to Firefly. I see what you did there. Many new loading tips were added to the screens. A few old ones were corrected for accuracy. That's good. Stark, Crawford, Tracy, Ethan, and Katharina got inspection text when they had none, and Titus now has inspection text to replace his old placeholder one. That's good. An array of unique and named weapons, including most hunter ones, use their base type generic flavor text. That's good. This does not cover all unique items, but the process will continue. Patch gets good. There are a few exceptions, as with Buzz's Fright Gear and Dunbar's Disruptor, which already had unique text. Yep. Nemo and Co. will no longer display their old subscriber-only label, as they had no effect on gameplay and it confuses new players. That's good. New humorous posters added in the roster of station posters. If it's not my one completely warning people about portals, I'm going to be unhappy. Alex Wardrobe has been changed to that of a Cabalist to match the quest text describing with one. Okay. The Viral Thunders were renamed to maintain consistency. So, okay. So they've been changed from the XM314 to the XM9XB Viral Thunders to maintain consistency, and they don't have numbers shared between them and Falcons. Spelling errors to the Desiccator's name has been fixed. Quest items as well as the Skull Desi have now been used correct. Alright, cool. Spelling errors of the quest and the chicken and eggs was fixed. Lydark is now spelled correctly. Typo and Sanctifies the fixed name was fixed. Recipes that are only displayed, Necro Essence, yeah, okay. That's fine. Quest items that are not recipe materials will no longer be able to be placed in the storage container except the player's inventory. Any quest items already in non-inventory states will be retrieved and then placed there again. Z-mails caps will lower to 20. Well, I don't care. I don't. If you were doing this, you were doing it because there's not enough storage space. So I don't care. Bug fixes. Let's have a look. No Bizarre trigger when the player is hit now will properly deal damage. Good. An issue where grade specific quest rewards could only roll for higher grades rather than intended was fixed. Master Sniper Snape now normally will now normally removed on zone transition as intended in line with the sniper mode. I never got that to work. Somebody must have got it to work. Weapons that now feature poison or shock damage now display this property regardless of modding. Batteries that are produced by Alex blueprints will now droppable to prevent unused blueprints used produce permanent items. All quests involve fast ones will now properly check the item. Yeah, there's too many items being fast one. And kill rewards for kill no name no longer identified as intended. Ingenious escape now works properly. Stealth skill route. Master of Lightning now properly displays that grants 5% damage to storm elemental for level. The Easter event recipes will now be hidden as intended, and sympathy will no longer drop from Lady Vengeance as intended. Sympathy is a crap pistol. Well, I'm glad they fixed that. So, what do I think about this? All positive changes. Keep it up, guys. I mean, I would have wanted more utility on the Blade Master side. I would have wanted a lot of things on the Blade Master side, but you know what? A win's a win. I'll see how this performs. You'll see how this performs. But again, I feel like giving a flat 10% armor penetration to those skills is the most brute force way you could have done it outside of just increasing their damage, and you effectively have done it by making getting 10 levels in those skills worth it for critical chance. If you're doing a really good crit build, there is very solid chance you can hit quite high with that. Regardless of what your weapon's base crit is, you're talking 20% base from the thing itself, plus any other like static crit you might have, like from your crit aura, which is 8% per person, I believe, capping out at 8. 8 is, I think it's 8, or is it 2? It doesn't really matter. The point is that's you've taken a hammer to fix that problem. I don't know if it's the right way to go about it. There's definitely things that could have been done there, and I'm interested to see what happens. But I feel like there's a couple of things that does kind of scream that to me that you're fixing a problem without fixing a problem. Giving Sword of Reckoning 10% flat, regardless of how many levels, 10% armor penetration makes its damage relevant more often at later levels, and giving the skill synergy between them is really good. I think that is that whole thing where you're giving certain bosses super armor, like 50% armor or whatever the fuck it is, feels like you're fixing something. Now, some people out there know that there are more bugs in the game. I am not the most knowledgeable about the bugs in the game. I've tried to cause a few of them, and I've been very bad at doing it, which makes me either very good or very bad as a beta tester. But the point is that I feel like some of the changes are kind of very heavy-handed, and I hope that they don't make Blade Master. I don't think they're going to make Blade Master too easy, because ultimately, even with 20% chance and a flat 10% armor penetration, I still think Sword of Justice is going to be better for SFX builds and for damage builds. Essentially, the big problem is that you're going to have to offer more utility with it, and I don't really know how that's possible, which is kind of its own problem. But in the meantime, thank you very much for taking your time out of your day to watch this video. I thought I'd record it. I'm not going to stream this. I'm not going to stream anything to do with Hellgate. I'm not marked as a streamer on their server, so that seems like a bad idea. But yeah, have a lovely rest of your day. Say positive things to them. Like, be nice about the things that are good, but do crucify them about stuff that isn't right. There you go. Simple as, guys. Anyway, I've been Dace Blackheart. You've been a wonderful audience. Bye for now.